Yet again, another great day in the stock market today, guys. We had the S&P up 0.4%, the Dow up 0.6%, the NASDAQ 100 up 0.1%, and we had the Russell do it yet again up 1.4%. So today we're going to break down some stocks, some charts, some earnings reports, my thoughts on the markets, plus more. So sit back, relax, hit the like button, subscribe, check out my Patreon down below if you guys want my buy, sells, call outs, morning update videos, plus more, and feel free to get 50 free bucks from M1 Finance. All of that's linked down below. And with that being said, let's get right into the video. So today, earlier in the day, SPY and QQQ, both of these hit yet again all-time highs. SPY hit $470.65, where QQQ hit almost $401. We hit $400.99. Again, both of these all-time highs. And you all can see if I pull up the intraday chart, we hit these highs, and then we got a bit overbought going back to that 20-day chart, and then we started seeing a bit of a retracement heading into the latter half of the day. Going back to the intraday chart, you guys can see that, right? We hit the all-time high. We hovered at about 401 for a couple of hours, and then boom, we got that big drop, and then we pretty much coasted right around 398 for the rest of the day on QQQ. And pulling up SPY, you can see the very similar thing. We hit the all-time high, 470.65. We coasted there a bit, and then we started plunging down, not too aggressively, but still, we pulled back a bit, and then we consolidated at about 467, 468, heading into the close of the day. And you guys can see, I mean, overall, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say this. You can see the bulls overall are still in charge on the intraday chart, on the 20-day chart, and especially on the 4-hour chart. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys and be like, oh, we're going to be going up forever. We're never going to see a pullback, because quite honestly, at this point in time, and remember this, I think we're a bit overbought. RSI on the 4-hour chart for SPY is at 75, which is over the overbought limit. It's getting extremely overbought now. And on QQQ, RSI is even higher. It's almost at 80. It's at 79 right now. So don't be surprised whether it's next week, maybe early next week, maybe the week after. I have no freaking idea. I don't have a crystal ball. But don't be surprised if we do see a bit of a retracement. Maybe QQQ does see some profit taking a healthy pullback to about 390. Maybe a 10-point drop there. Maybe SPY does see a bit of a drop as well. Maybe to 460. 465, 455 even on the lower end. You know, this is very possible. And if you guys were in my Patreon today, which again, check it out down below, I guarantee you'll find a bunch of value there. I actually locked in some profits. You know, I locked in my Voyager position from earlier this week. I made about 13% on that. I bought it at 14.71, sold it at 17 on the dot right before the market closed. And I also sold my win position right before earnings, which I believe they report next week, early next week. I bought that at about $91, $91.50, somewhere around there, and I sold it today at about $97.30. I made about 6%. So I'm not trying to freak you guys out, but I'm just saying I am locking in some profits here on this big run up in the markets, and I'm raising a bit of cash because let me tell you, if SPY, if QQQ, if these things go down a good chunk, well, not like a 20% crash, that's not what I'm saying here, or even a 10% drop, but if we go like 2-3%, a little mini pullback, a lot of stocks are going to get hit. I'm going to have cash. I'll be ready to go, right? So let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me? Are we a bit overbought? Do you still think there's more juice in the rally? Let me know down below in the comments, and make sure to smash the like button, as it does help me out in the YouTube algorithm, and it just tells me that you guys, which I appreciate all of you guys, by the way, it tells me that you guys like the content here. So let's talk about some stocks. Number one is Draftkings, which today, guys, it got obliterated earlier in the day. It did recover a lot of that loss, and it still went down a bit at the close, 2.3%. So let's talk about it. First and foremost, DraftKings is now trading, well, it was before when it hit 39.78. It's trading at a 9-month low. So it's very beaten down, and from the all-time high back in the middle of March, $74 per share, it is down about 45%. So it's well in a bear market, or rather, it's clearly in a bear market. And it's well into it, right? It's getting destroyed. And they reported earnings today, and the earnings weren't great per se, pretty disappointing, but they weren't horrible. I'm not going to go out on a limb and be like, oh, the DraftKings earnings were disgustingly bad, because they weren't. But they did miss sales. They did miss sales, and their guidance is pretty much, they narrowed it a bit. We'll talk about that here in a second. So overall, they did, where does it say in here? $213 million in revenue in Q3, and mind you, they did $133 million last year, same quarter. So year over year, they're still growing a lot. But I believe the estimate, I can't find it here, but I remember from looking at this earlier. Oh, here it is. The estimate for the quarter was $236 million. So they did $212 million versus the $236 million estimate for revenue, which isn't that great. I'll be the first to tell you that. And they lost $1.35 EPS, which makes sense. I mean, this company is losing money. They're trying to grow the company. Being profitable is not a concern right now. And they see guidance. Let's take a look here at the guidance. They narrowed their 2021 view to about 1.24 to 1.28 billion, which originally it was a bit wider than that. I think the higher end of the estimate was $1.29 billion. Lower end was 1.21 billion. So I'm going to tell you guys, the guidance is not bad. It's not like the guidance is way lower than what was expected, like Peloton was, which, by the way, Peloton got obliterated today. I think the stock went down 35%. I'm so happy. I never put money into that, and I've been vocal about it, and I'm not going to get into the Peloton tangent in this video, but it's getting destroyed. I mean, it's not a pretty sight over there in at Peloton. And we see full year 2022 revenue here for DraftKings. Where is it? I just had my eye on it. It was, come on, where did it go? God dang it, where is it here? Let me see here, guys. I'm not seeing it, but their guidance for full year 22 was pretty much in line. So I feel like the big drop initially to $39 was a bit of an overreaction, which is why, no kidding, this thing got bought up very quickly. Look at this. They reported earnings. The stock went from 45 to 39, and then it started ripping up like crazy. It actually recovered that whole loss. V-shaped recovery. We can clearly see it. And then we slowly bled throughout the rest of the day, and we're holding pretty nicely at about $44 now in the after hours. So not a crazy reaction to DraftKings, and obviously the trend is still not looking pretty. We're in a downtrend, under the moving averages, death cross, all that stuff. And full disclosure, I'm still long DraftKings, guys. I didn't buy any today. I was looking to maybe buy it today, but I missed that $39, $40 level. It rebounded so quickly that I didn't get my chance, and I'm just going to wait now until next week. And I was selling calls on it. I actually closed that covered call position yesterday ahead of earnings, just in case the stock were to spike up like crazy, which it didn't. But I still made about 65% on my covered calls there. My average right now with DraftKings is right around $49. So I am in a position where I would average down, because I am down a bit on the position right now. So DraftKings, a lot of you guys have been asking me about it. I'm still bullish. I'm long, and I don't plan on selling. I still think this could go 55, 60, 65 per share, no problem. So let's pull up Coinbase. They just reported earnings after hours, and I did not see what they did, or did they move their earnings back? Looks like they did that. I swear their earnings were supposed to be today. Was I wrong on that? Maybe I was wrong on that, guys. I apologize. I have it listed here in my notes. Coinbase was supposed to report today. I guess not. They're scheduled on the 9th, which is on Tuesday. Is that Monday or Tuesday? I don't know. Either one, whatever. We're not doing mental math right now. It is Friday evening, pretty much. So the math is done for the week. But look, Coinbase went down 2% today. It's I wouldn't say it's a screaming dip buy. I mean, we are right around the 50 SMA, which has held over the past couple of weeks, and I've been vocal about it. I want Coinbase to drop the ball. I want their earnings to not be horrible because that would affect the price for months to come, but I want to see a decent drop after earnings. I think if we do see that, let's say we break the 50 SMA here at about 320, we start going 280, 285, maybe even 290, guys. If we start getting there, that is where I'm going to pick up Coinbase again, because full disclosure, again, you guys in my Patreon know this, you get all my moves. I was in Coinbase at 270, sold some at 315 or 317, something like that, sold the rest at 325, and now I'm pretty much out of Coinbase. Well, I am out of Coinbase, and I want to get that pullback to re-enter, and I might not get it. That's just the truth. I might not get it. That's how the markets work, guys. You never know what the heck's going to happen. So watch out for Coinbase next week. Should be interesting. CCL, Carnival Cruise Line. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here. So we're clearly breaking out of both moving averages. We held the bottom of the channel, uptrending channel at that, which is a great sign. We're breaking out. There could be more upside to about $27, but I would be careful here because we saw a huge spike today due to a study that showed Pfizer's experimental CV19 what did I just say anti? What the hell am I saying? Antiviral pill reduced the risk of hospitalization and death by nearly 90%. Pfizer said it will ask regulators to approve this as soon as possible. We'll see what happens there, but pretty much a lot of these travel stocks and, the cruise stocks went up like crazy. CCL up 8%. The airlines, at least ones I was looking at, DAL went crazy. Let's see, AAL probably went crazy. Yeah, a lot of these did well. LUV probably went crazy. Yep, all of them went up between 5, 8, 10%, right in that area, which is a pretty big pop for these stocks. And this could be a sell the news event, potentially. It might be. Don't be surprised if these stocks are down a couple of percentage points at some point next week. I don't know if they're going to continue this momentum, quite honestly. But if they do see a pullback, going back to CCL here, let's see this. Let's see if this pulls back. Let's say it pulls back to 23, 20, maybe 22.50, maybe low 24s even, right around the 180 SMA here. Hey, maybe that could be a dip buy. But for me at this point, I want to see if this momentum sustains itself. Is it legitimate, or is this just kind of a sell the news event? So I'm going to be watching CCL. AMAT, guys, Applied Materials. Finally, it happened. It finally happened. We broke out of the 145 level of resistance, which if you guys have been following my channel, which you should, I call these stocks out all the time. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. It is 100% free. If you've been following me, we've been calling out Applied Materials like crazy. We've been talking about how each time it's hit 145 in the past, it's gotten rejected. And this time, we finally hit it, guys. It broke out, hit 153, and now the ascending triangle that we've also been calling out is playing out. And mind you, this is very overbought now. I would not FOMO into Applied Materials. There's no way. But any sign of a pullback within the overall breakout, I would be happy to pick it up, whether it's at 145, 148, 150. I don't know. I'm going to wait and see if we can get some sort of dip buy. And mind you, we have earnings coming up on the 18th, so that's going to be a bit interesting there. That's going to fluctuate the stock. So, yeah, AMAT is looking pretty good right now. Netflix is another one, NFLX. This one's finally seeing a pullback. It went down $23 today, down over 3.3%, and we're approaching the 180 moving average on the 4-hour chart, which you guys can see has clearly been support over the past couple of months, pretty much ever since the middle towards the beginning, actually more towards the middle end of June. So what is that? 5 months? We've been riding this moving average, and we obviously have seen pullbacks within those 5 months, and we've bounced off this moving average. So in my opinion, this might not be different. It might not be different this time. I think buyers could step in around 630, 640, and the RSI is very oversold. We talked about how QQQ, SPY, and AMAT, those are overbought. Well, Netflix is oversold at this point. Not saying it can't go lower. In fact, I think it could go a bit lower. But hey, 630, if we do go a bit lower, very oversold at that point, we might be able to pick some up. So keep your eyes out on Netflix. Sofi is another one, ticker symbol SOFI. This is one that I've also traded many times in the past. Now I'm completely out of it, and I'm just looking at it for re-entry, and I'm probably not going to dive into SoFi yet, considering it's ran up so much. I mean, look at this. Just a month and a half ago, end of September, it was a $14 stock. Now it's at $22. It is up 35%. And mind you, they also have earnings coming up here on the 11th, or rather the 10th. So 5 days, they're next week. I'm going to wait until they report. Let's say, for example, they report, the stock somehow tanks towards 18, 19, right around the 180 SMA here, 4-hour chart. That is where I'm going to strike and potentially start getting back into SoFi. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So keep your eyes on it. Ticker symbol SOFI. And one more here, which we haven't really talked about at all in the past couple of months, but I do have a tiny position in this, and admittedly, I am down a good chunk. I think I own shares at about 17, 18 bucks right now. It is First Majestic Silver, ticker symbol AG. This one, in the past couple of weeks, the tides have finally been turning. Today alone, it did very well. Today alone, it went up 74 cents, up about 6%. And what we're noticing here on the 4-hour chart is a breakout of the moving averages. This is very important considering we had a bear market from 18 bucks middle of June all the way down to 10 bucks. We were trading under the moving averages at that point, and we were seeing a death cross. Now we're breaking out above the moving averages. We're seeing a golden cross. So we're slowly reversing on First Majestic Silver. And on the 3-year chart, you guys can see we're trading well within the uptrending channel. And it seems like when we were at 18 bucks, we were just a bit overbought. And I bought a little bit on the pullback from here, and I clearly bought too early. But now that we found the bottom, it seems like, bottom of the channel, we're starting to rip back up. I might average a bit more into First Majestic Silver. And let me tell you, this is not a big position, guys. In fact, it might be my smallest position right now, but hey, I want more exposure here. I think they're doing good things over there, and I think there's upside over the next coming months with this particular stock. And that's what you notice. Sometimes you buy in a bit too early. It doesn't mean that you're 100% wrong, because if you fast forward a year down the line, you could end up being up big time. Who knows? First Majestic Silver, I bought at 17. Now I'm down a bit. I might be, I'm not. But let's say I was like, oh, I'm so pissed that First Majestic Silver's down. I might be in the dumps, which again, I'm not, guys. But, a year down the line, this could be at 25 bucks. So it all depends on your time frame, which I've been long and I plan on holding a bit. So who knows? I could be the one laughing at the end, guys, right? I could be up a lot. So we'll see how it goes. And mind you, I could be down a lot. Nobody really knows until the time comes, right? So that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, drop me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you all had a great week. And check out my Patreon if you want all my buys, sells, call-outs, morning update videos, more access to me throughout the day, plus more. All of that's on Patreon, link down below. Or you guys can go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. Make sure to also get your 50 bucks from M1 Finance. All you have to do is use my link down below, deposit 100 bucks, and we each get 50 bucks free. And if you don't like M1, take out your 100, you keep your 50, boom, free money. And you can get 2 stocks from Webull, also linked down below. And that's it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching again. As always, keep crushing the markets. Stay safe out there. Peace out, guys.